Welcome to Wildly Capable with Kate, a podcast made for those looking to unleash their wildest capabilities. I'm your host, Kate DeRocher, a dating, relationship, and self-worth coach on a mission to help people build better relationships, starting with the one they have with themselves. In each episode, we'll dig deep, turn inwards, and embark on a transformative journey. Together, we'll break free from unhealthy patterns, rip through self-limiting beliefs, heal past wounds, and build unwavering self-worth, all to create healthier relationships as a result. Get ready to explore the wild, untapped potential within you. Are you ready to see just how wildly capable you are? Subscribe now and join us on this empowering adventure. Remember, your wildest capabilities await. Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining for another episode of Wildly Capable with Kate. Today's episode is about a topic that I often hear a lot of confusion on when it comes to dating. It's a topic that even I myself have gotten into debates over, and that's the idea of chemistry versus compatibility. We're going to talk about what chemistry even is, the meaning of compatibility, how both show up in relationships, and which one, if either, are needed or are more important than the other. Understanding these two things is vital to attracting, finding, and creating healthy relationships. In romantic situations, friendships, every type of relationship, this is important information to know. Without fully grasping what chemistry and compatibility both are, when you meet someone new or you just start to see someone, you're not going to know what to pay attention to. And even if you are aware and gaining the information you need to see whether you and that person are going to be a good match or not, awareness is only the first level. With that awareness, there also needs to be deep, intuitive understanding for you to then know what to do with the information you're gathering. And often, chemistry and compatibility are mixed together or confused with one another. So let me set the record straight. First and foremost, let's talk about what chemistry is. Chemistry in a relationship refers to the emotional and physical connection between two people that creates a strong mutual attraction. Chemistry is a bit hard to fully describe or nail down. Similar to when you try to define love, it's not easily explainable. But to me, chemistry is a complex mix of feelings, interests, and interactions that lead to two people feeling a sort of draw or magnetism to one another. It's intense feelings of connection, passion, excitement, and romance. Chemistry can look like always wanting to be around each other, understanding what one another are saying easily, finishing each other's thoughts and sentences, being able to joke around constantly, feeling like things are just really clicking. Compatibility, on the other hand, refers to the degree to which two individuals are well suited for each other based on numerous different factors. These factors lead to a healthy, easy, harmonious relationship. Compatibility is an alignment in numerous areas such as values, beliefs, lifestyle, and intellect. Other factors that contribute to two people being compatible with one another are things like both wanting kids or marriage, long-term life goals, sense of humor, conflict management styles, and so much more. This doesn't, and honestly really shouldn't, mean that two people must be 100% perfectly aligned for a relationship to work. But it means that more things than not are at least close to being in sync. If you ask me, chemistry is more of a feeling and compatibility is something longer lasting, not based so heavily in emotion. And compatibility is a bit more tangible, easy to see and explain, while chemistry is more loosely seen and explained. So, why does it even matter to know the difference between chemistry and compatibility? Well, in my experience as a dating and relationship coach, and in my own dating experiences, I've seen relationships where one is more at play than the other, and how that imbalance or complete lack of one aspect can affect a relationship, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Now, a lot of you listening to this may be already thinking, well, I know chemistry is important. Without chemistry, there's no attraction, no spark. A lot of people think that. And while I agree there has to be at least some form of attraction, some chemistry between two people, I also believe that first, attraction and chemistry can grow, And second, that attraction and chemistry are not nearly as important to the longevity of a relationship as compatibility is. In fact, to go a step further, I've even seen how damaging it can be to be in a relationship where chemistry is at the forefront or is the only thing tying the two people together. Chemistry without compatibility can lead you down a bad road in a relationship. To better illustrate what I mean, let me paint a little picture of my own life. So back in 2019-ish, I met a guy at a bar who pretty instantly I felt quite infatuated with. We had an adorable meet cute and spent the rest of the night talking. The chemistry we had was off the charts, needless to say. And I knew that easily back then because by the end of the night, he put his very expensive watch on my wrist, saying it was his way of guaranteeing that I'd have to see him again. It was like a movie. This guy and I went on to date for a couple months, and within that time span, we both developed really strong feelings for one another really quickly. Our humor was the same. We both loved New Girl. We loved ice cream. Our goofiness levels matched one another's. It was just an easy, fun fit. There was an excitement, a connection, magnetism, chemistry. But what there wasn't was compatibility. We had very different religious views. Our lifestyles weren't aligned. The directions we were heading in our lives looked very different. So many things were off balance. And because of that, our fling, while romantic, hot, and heavy, was also short-lived. Luckily for both of us, he realized our beliefs and values were too different for a healthy, lasting relationship to form. And he ended things before either of us could get too attached or too hurt. At the time, I didn't understand his decision to call things off. If he felt so strongly about me, why not try? But now, 5 years and a lot of earned wisdom later, I can see he was right. Even if our relationship was filled with tons of laughter and fun times, it eventually would have broken down when the truth about life finally came around. And that truth, you guys, is that in life, shit happens. And when it hits the fan, a relationship that's built on fleeting feelings, aka chemistry, is much less likely to pull through the hard times than a relationship that's built on mutual respect, values, and beliefs, compatibility. You see, I believe that compatibility is more important in the end than chemistry is in a relationship. Yes, totally a mixture of both is great and attraction is needed, but whether we like it or not, looks fade and attraction levels change. Which means that if you build a relationship off of chemistry alone, you're screwed when someday you look at your partner and suddenly see all of their flaws, but don't have the strong foundation of mutual respect, which comes from compatibility, to pull you through once you're out of the honeymoon, the infatuation phase. When two people have strong compatibility, they're much more likely to make it through the many shifting stages of a relationship. Compatibility builds a solid foundation within a relationship. Compatibility determines how both parties behave, act, and react in different situations due to their shared values. Compatibility breeds stronger conflict resolution, healthier communication, and overall just a more stable and secure relationship. On the other hand, chemistry allows people to easily justify conflict, fights, or differences in their relationship, saying that the passion and connection they feel outweighs those difficulties. Chemistry can lead to periods of intense highs, but with intense highs, low lows also come too. Chemistry changes as two people begin to notice one another's icks and imperfections more and more. That's just the truth. So while both chemistry and compatibility are important to the initial starting stages of a relationship, I believe it's compatibility that will matter more in the end. For anyone listening to this who's single or dating, as you go on dates, let this episode be your reminder to pay attention to more than just the initial chemistry that you feel with a person. I tell all of my clients, and this is a rule that I followed myself, to spend at least 3 months truly getting to know someone before jumping into a relationship. And in those 3 months, your whole goal and job is to discover as much about who the other person truly is as you can. Maybe you go on a date and feel intense chemistry right off the bat. That's great. But don't let that alone be the intel you use to determine whether that person is someone to trust your heart with or not. Instead, remember that feelings are fleeting. Feelings aren't always fact. And slow yourself down enough to where you can dig up deeper, more important aspects about that person and about how you two do or do not fit together. You see, a person can only put their best foot forward for so long. And in extreme cases where someone actually isn't being a great human being, maybe they have some narcissistic tendencies, avoidance, what have you, then it takes at least 3 months for their true colors to start showing. Oftentimes longer, but 3 months is a good marker to at least start with when it comes to figuring out the character and integrity of another human being. The same goes for you and I, goes for all of us. We all can only be our best, most polished, beautiful, amazing selves for so long. And we shouldn't have to walk through life or into a relationship trying to always be perfect. Eventually, our cracks will show, our old patterns will surface, our unhealed wounds will take the wheel, and the side of us that we often try to keep hidden will come out. It just will. Which is why, for a lasting relationship to form, both people need to get to know one another on a deeper level than just what chemistry can provide. You need to see if you two can walk through conflict well, if their behaviors and wiring will trigger you more than what is healthy, if your attachment styles can work together, if you can figure it out together. There are just so many things that need to be discovered, which can often be missed if you're allowing chemistry to be your main focus. That is the end of my rant. If you've experienced the difference between chemistry and compatibility in your relationships, or even if you disagree with me, that's totally fine, please give me a shout on social media at Coach Kate DeRocher with your thoughts. I would love to read them. And if you enjoyed what I shared, please send this episode to a friend, family, loved one, maybe someone who's struggling to find a healthy match or just feels stuck in the dating scene altogether. I know so many of us feel that way. This episode could really help them begin to approach dating in a different way, so please hit the share button and send it their way. To learn more about how my dating, relationship, and self-worth coaching options work, DM me the word capable and we'll chat next steps. Until next time, I'm Kate, and this is Wildly Capable with Kate. Talk to you guys soon.